Welcome, mortals, to the Fantasy Football War Council's podcast. Here are your gods of war, Jonathan Arneson, along with Mario and Daniel Gutierrez.
Hello and welcome to another meeting of the Fantasy Football War Council. I am your God of War, Jonathan, joined by another God of War, Daniel. And shame the two that didn't join us tonight. Yeah. Hello and welcome. Another meeting. Let's we're 2 days for the draft.
2 days.
Wait. I actually had a countdown. 1 day, 19 hours, 32 minutes.
Oh, yes.
I know. It's nice. It's nice.
And
So
here?
We got couple news words.
Let's see, 5 days, 2 hours, and 51 minutes until our first draft of the year for Dynasty. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it because I was really excited. I started doing a lot of research and looking into players, and then I pulled up my draft picks.
Yes, you did. Yeah. You're paying for Genty.
That's my pain for Genty. Yeah, that's my pain for Genty. So not having a first or a second, I'm not so excited because it's not I wouldn't call this a deep draft. I know it's a lot of players, but it's not deep. I don't know. It gets real boring in my opinion after the third, I think. I don't know. I don't know.
That's where I like the picks is of course your first round and all of that. That's where you put in a lot of research, but I like those mid-round picks because those are some nice flyers a lot of times. But I have
it was strong in a lot of categories. I feel like it's that's all. I'm not saying it's
Yeah. I have 8 picks in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, and your brother has quite a few as well.
And Mario doesn't have any until he has 2-4.
Well, he's been making a lot of trades.
And then now he's got 2-3, 3-3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. So.
Yeah, he just made a trade and acquired something for pitching off Diggs and
no, he gave DK and Joey Bosa and somebody else for the 2 and the 3. Let's see. DK, it was 3 players. DK, Bosa.
There was players on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, Mario gave DK and Bosa and Malik Washington. So some decent players there.
Yep. And he acquired Diggs and that's So I was saying
he got Diggs, Reddick, and Samuel.
Hassan Reddick,
2-3 and 3-3.
And Debo. Yeah. I liked the Diggs. I mean, I figure he'll New England, right?
Yeah.
And he's I mean Debo's a question mark, but it's a solid.
He basically, it was for the draft picks. He sold. I mean, I was texting him about it. I was like, DK's that's a bold move right there. I don't know if that's a bold move that I would have made, but if the Titans come out of it and they draft a receiver high, then then it's gonna hurt. Then it was a good trade. It was time to get out of him, right? Because then his role might drop if they're like spending a lot of draft stock on a young wide receiver. But if Tennessee doesn't address wide receiver at all during the draft, then there were only 3 receivers that scored above 300 points last year, and he was the third one. And so he could be he's a huge dart throw, and it all depends on where the draft is, how that Tennessee draft goes. So three upside players and a solid defensive players for 2 and 3. I think that's a good trade. But yeah, that's
No,
right.
when this popped into my phone, I sat down and I just saw 3 players, like 5 picks, 3 players, five.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a Mario trade.
Yeah.
I didn't have to look at names. All I knew it was Mario. This is a Mario trade, all right.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it was a good trade. It's a good trade.
He's
So
been uh he's been hammering. Mario's hopping on, as a matter of fact, as we're talking about him. He's
yeah,
downloading the app, and then he's gonna jump on
wonderful. Well,
momentarily. He
man,
says
he can chime in. That's awesome.
so.
So my intro would have worked. I deleted it. Would have worked. I had the Brothers Grimm back. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have the Brothers Grimm. It works.
Yeah. So that yeah, it's nice to see the movement. I know he's been pounding the pavement to get some picks because he didn't have any until he had the two
Mhm.
more and then nothing for a while. So
Yeah, yeah, and I was figuring being it's a slow draft, so you can always maybe get a pick or something.
yeah,
I figure we'll see what happens. We'll
yeah,
see,
it should be
right?
an active draft.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
see
looking
what
forward to that.
happens.
Yeah,
See what happens. So it's always a question mark, and it's I mean, we could get into it, but it's our own draft. But I like to get into the normal NFL draft just so we
yeah,
get all of our listeners. But at the same time, I mean, it's good. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So, um, yeah. Well, I mean, we could, back, back, back talk our league as we're talking with everything else, right? So,
yeah, for
where we
sure.
think players, where do you think a player will go, both NFL and where he'll go in our draft, right?
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to give any secrets. We're 5 days away from draft here, so I'm not sharing shit.
Hold them to the belt, not.
Yeah. I'm full of proprietary information currently.
I love it. I love it. I'm not signing. I'm not signing anything. So
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
I'm not signing anything. Okay, well,
All right, well, we'll
take
leave the
us away.
first.
Take
Yeah,
us
we'll
away.
leave the first blurb of
Take us
news now
away.
that we've you know jibber jabbered for a while, having fun. Um, NFL owners have approved 4 new rule changes presented by the competition committee at the annual league meeting. The first one is to permit a team to declare an onside kick anytime during the game, which would be nice. I hated the fourth quarter if you're behind caveat to when you can kick. So I'm happy that that's gone. Um, Changed some rules so that there's no incentive for kicking out of bounds if their team is kicking from the 50-yard line, and changing some alignments in the setup of the blocking teams. And this is a big one, though. Allowing New York to call in and call a missed penalty that's obvious that affects the impact of the game. And so
Huge.
they can overturn that. And they're also talking about expanding that if they're so that New York makes the calls for the games as far as the referees are concerned, especially if they don't come to an agreement with the referees union. So their NFL is preparing a contingency plan to have these games going if the referees and the NFL can't come to an agreement on salary and things like that, or MOU.
I like it. No, that one was a big one. I do like that one.
Yeah.
Slide my screen.
And do you want to take the next one? Or you want me to keep going?
I do. Sorry, I'm sliding my screen over to make room for Mario now, and I wanted the sound, but the sound
Let's hope it
drops
works.
be there. So a young Zachary Branch, about to be in the NFL draft, was arrested for obstruction of justice with the police. 2 misdemeanor charges. What does this do to his draft stock days before? The Laramie Tunzel effect. The doing stupid shit right before the draft, right?
Yep. Just
Yeah.
bad timing.
Oh,
Bad timing.
terrible timing. This just hurt your wallet more than anything else. This is
Oh, it could drop him like a round or two. You're talking, at least hundreds of thousands of dollars. You
oh,
know, at least
gosh.
maybe mil or so. Because Zachary Branch. They were saying he was going to be like a second, third round.
Yeah.
Hey!
Hey, sorry. I had to restart the download a couple times on the app. So I was like, yeah, 4 minutes. And then my mom kept talking and kept talking, and then I was like, okay. And I'd check back, and I'd be like, it's still not on there. How you doing?
Doing real good. Nice to see you. Love you're all shaved up. You're looking great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good.
It's
You
nice to
know,
have you.
it's
Nice to have you.
it's
It's the
it's
brothers
hot here. It's hot.
You look hot. You look hot. It's all
Yeah.
right. It works. It works. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're just finishing the news real quick. If you want to chime in.
Comment on it. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to.
See a document. So
No, he can't see a
Okay.
document, but he can chime in on what he hears here. And so
Yeah.
we'll go
what?
into the next one. You were going to say something, John? Sorry.
No, no.
All right. I do like this one as well. John pointed this one out. I thought it was super cool. Heinz is giving away a lifetime supply of ketchup to the 57th overall pick in this draft. They are celebrating 151 years of being in existence in Pittsburgh, and since the draft is in Pittsburgh, they're doing something special. So currently, the Chicago Bears have the rights to the pick, and if the player that does get selected, they have a red blazer, and they will be calling him Mr. 57 and get a lifetime supply of ketchup. So that's
I
cool.
think that's pretty cool. Yeah,
That is cool.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
an
like
awesome
that.
one. I don't know. That's being married to someone that loves ketchup on their ketchup. I think that's cool for me. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trent Williams and the 49ers agree to terms on a 2-year, $50 million deal extension. So well done, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good move on
He.
both sides.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
You know, he could have
Hey.
probably gotten more somewhere else, but 25 mil, and then he stays in San Francisco where he's happy. Like,
and they're making moves because they want to do things. So
Yeah. I think if he worked toward getting more money, it could have gotten messy. Because
mm-hmm.
everything with the 49ers, when people try to get contracts, has been a little messy over there lately. Um, and he might not have made the first week or what, you know what I mean? And
mhm.
so you run the risk of hurting yourself when you don't show up to mini camps and everything. So I think on all sides, this was probably what's best for everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dang, I didn't put it in the news, but I was someone else that was in contract disputes with their team and
You
actually
talking
like
about?
showed up. I can't remember.
Oh,
I can't remember. It was someone that showed up. They showed up in good faith. So in good faith, they wanted
that's
to do their
cool.
talk through their contracts and be
Mm-hmm.
there in the building. What not working out, but in the building. So
Okay,
it's
okay.
a step in the direction, right? It's a step in the direction. So you're not at
Yeah, and then
home out doing something stupid. So
yeah, the opposite of Aaron Rodgers right now.
hey, that's what I think is the most disrespectful thing is what he does to his teams. Every team that he's on, the team needs to know if you're going to be a part of their, you know, situation, what they're doing next year, going into the draft, and here you are hiding, not talking about it, holding your,
Yeah,
off out, and they want to see what you're going to, I don't know. Is it some like, do they go draft a quarterback and does he take it like it's a slap in the face to him and it's like, all right, now I want to go to another team or I want to retire?
I
Ah,
from what I've heard from Aaron Rodgers more recently is that he really wouldn't mind bringing someone up and taking them under his wing and being that the whole thing is being better than Favre, being better than Favre. So he would like to have a legacy left where he took someone under his wing for a year or two, and he still thinks he's got 2 good years left in him, maybe three. And I'm like, well, if you see yourself as a future first ballot Hall of Famer, just freaking say it. Just say, hey, you know what? I'm old. I'm not going to be at minicamp. And you give the backup quarterback some reps out there. Just be honest and say it, right?
So many vets that get the nod to not have to do it, and it's okay for them, right? Like that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, and that could just be the agreement between the team and him, but it's the same thing like Stafford last year, right? They just kept on designating him with the back, but come to find out during the season, they just didn't want him. They put him in bubble wrap. They're like, what does he need to do in minicamp and training camp to prove anything? As long as he's
Hmm.
working on his conditioning and his strengthening, now he's not going to have any wear and tear when the season starts. So
Mm,
like they designated him with a back injury and brought all of these things in, but they just put him on ice for the offseason because they know that they can just wind him up and send him out since he's been in the league for 17 years, you know? So,
Yeah.
like, why don't you just go through the same thing? Well, he's not under contract. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm sure there's some sort of like, yeah, I'm coming back next year. I'll sign right at, June 1st. And
mhm.
and we'll go there. But, you know, for all intents and purposes, I'm here. Don't worry about that kind of deal.
Yeah. I mean, he's earned the right to say that stuff and tout it, and just it just and
Absolutely.
respect the fans, respect the organization. Just say it, and they need to respect him back.
Yeah, I'll be here, but I'm not signing till June 1st. So,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
I
I'm
think
gonna go.
fans
I'm gonna go heal
like
up.
to know that.
I'm
I,
43, 44 years old or whatever.
fans like to know, but I think organization because they're more. I think more to them because they're planning. They need to know. Do we need to replace this guy? Do we need to go another direction? It
That
changes their direction of what they're doing with only so many picks, right?
that's
So.
the question
Yeah,
that I have though.
absolutely.
Is like, do they really not know?
Hmm.
Yeah, because
Do they
I
really
think
not know, or is that something that's more like media driven because he's not under contract and in the building and around at all?
I
Yeah,
think it's more media driven.
that's a big one. Yep.
Yeah, I think from what I heard, they are happy with Will Howard. They're not happy with the QB um whatchamacallit, choices this draft.
Hmm.
So they'd rather give Will Howard some hours back there, and whether it's trial by fire or whatever. And if they have to draft next year, draft a QB next year up high if he really crashes and burns. But if they got Aaron
Absolutely.
Rodgers, so for me, I think it's what do you do in that case? Well, your quarterback's old and the other one's a rookie. You
Hmm.
protect them. And you know what? They actually have a pretty good O line. So then what do you need? They need a second wide receiver. And their whatchamacallit running back room wasn't all that great either. So
Hmm.
they have some definite things they need to hit. Um, and if they address those have nothing to do with the quarterback. So yeah, I think this is all smokescreen.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, they need youth on defense too,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially at safety.
Yes.
Well, luckily it's a deep class.
Yeah, especially at that position as well. All right. Last bit of news that we have here before we'll jump into the draft is Bengals acquire Sexy Dexy Lawrence from the Giants for the 10th overall pick. And they extended his contract to 2028. They added 1 year, $28 million. He's never going to see a penny of that. I'm sorry,
No.
unless if it's fully guaranteed, he's never going to see a penny of that. But
It is the
it made
Bengals.
him it made him feel better. It made him feel fluffy, and now he's happier to go play with the Bengals, even though they basically just added a void year to his contract to make him smile. But yeah, I don't trust the Bengals as far as I could throw Dexter Lawrence. So
Hey,
Yeah.
it's to make Joe Burrow feel better that there's something on the other side of the ball doing something.
I mean,
Hmm.
well, they lost Trey. You know, now they don't even draft at 10, so they're not going to pick up any defensive players beside. Well, Dexter Lawrence is worth the 10th overall pick. I think that was still pretty good,
Oh,
but
heck yeah. You weren't going to get in. Well, so what I heard this morning was that they were dead set on getting a cornerback. They were good with Delane or McCorn. What's his
McCoy.
McCoy. And when McCoy's medicals came back that his bone plug didn't take, and he was going to have to go in for a second surgery, they had panic throughout their front office, and within 1 hour, they called the Giants about Dexter Lawrence and made the deal happen. So they had a plan. That plan got burnt down, and they believe that either you have someone super strong in the back end, or you have a super strong front end, and that they can kind of fill with positions on either way. And they're pretty happy with their thought on Shamar Stewart and Mafe being there next to Lawrence. And then they can have some rookies come up that they can just keep hitting and hitting and hitting in the backfield there and see what they can do. And hey, you know what? That could be a Super
Could
Bowl
be
winning
a
formula.
surprise, right?
Yeah.
They could really get a high end starting caliber safety at
Yeah.
pick 42
Yeah.
in the second round, like
Hmm.
high end. So
And linebacker too in this class.
and well, they do have Barrett Carter who finished really strong there, and then they
Hmm.
brought in I forgot who they brought in. So they do have like up and coming young linebacker core and solid, but that they need help on that back end, like the in the secondary with their corners and their safeties, and they've got Battle as safety that's there still, I believe. Um,
Hmm.
so like, yeah, corner would be help, but I don't know if they're gonna get a corner. I might just bullshit again.
Corner would be helpful. The only reason why I said linebackers because some of these guys have really good coverage ratings, and the caliber of player at linebacker versus the caliber of player at cornerback by the time they get to pick, that might be a toss-up for them, depending on how they're building their team. But safety should be their number one because that's going to be the absolute best position by the time they pick around in the second round,
Yep, I think so too.
in my opinion. But who knows, some
Pretty
defensive tackles might fall too. Then you just rotate the old guy, keep him fresh the whole time.
Nice.
Mm, okay.
So, yep, go.
No, I was gonna say it's the draft. So first pick, Raiders are on the clock. I didn't know what we were gonna do, who was gonna show. I didn't know uh, how you wanted to hit this because I didn't know. Do we? You want to take some guesses? You guys want to guess it where we think people will get drafted, like we've done in past years? I don't know what you guys wanted to do. So
Yeah, we can start with the Raiders. Maybe we pick some teams and talk about fits that we might like to see for that team.
yeah, yeah,
We could talk top 10 for sure. I know we might be running a little short on time, so yeah, we could definitely do like top 10.
yeah.
Talk about like what those are be, and then maybe the Buccaneers because we're all excited and Buccaneers
Yeah.
fans here. So
Hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
deal with it. You know.
Yes, hopes and dreams, hopes and dreams. So,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
So
well, uh, Raiders on the clock. Do you, uh, you know,
Who do you think is? Anybody think they're not going to take Mendoza?
I just have a small percentage chance that they're just hoodwinking. You know what I mean? Like, and they do something else. It's just the
Oh
Raiders.
yeah.
It's like a 2% chance, but no, I mean, like everything signs point to they've brought in the kid. They've talked to him. Had Brady talk to him on the phone. I mean,
Yeah, and they brought his dad in too.
They're already installing their offense with him. Like they already came out and said they're going to be drafting him. So it would be a draft night kerfuffle if it gets traded or something happens. That would be
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they have Kirk Cousins in, who's got the same work and homework ethic, but all of
they're
Mendoza's
like the same
measurables are
person.
better.
It's why they brought him in. They're like the two. They're like the same person. Neither of them cuss. They're like very nice guys.
Yeah, I think
So
Kirk might have a little bit stronger of an arm, but Mendoza's a better athlete overall and a little heavier.
he's a little
And
beefier.
Kirk's,
Yeah, he's a little beefier.
yeah,
Yeah,
bigger. He's a
they've
monster.
always
yeah.
been worried about Kirk being 205, and that's what he came into the NFL as. And I think the hit rate on QBs under 211 has been super low. And Kirk's one of, I think, only three QBs that's ever made it to consistent starter. And Mendoza's all his measurables hit above that. But if he's a little
Kirk,
souped up, Kirk Cousins, that's not
six,
horrible.
not a little
Not
souped up.
horrible. Kirk's
6'5",
pretty
235. I mean, he's a monster.
Yeah,
He's got that. What are they? The sleeper build, right? You don't think about it until
yeah.
you stand next to him and you're like, holy cow,
skilled.
Which
that is a big dude.
Hello. Hey, he just keeps going. Yeah, it's one of those.
yeah,
Yeah.
they keep comparing him to Brock Purdy as a diss, and I'm like, Brock Purdy's 10-yard split was faster than Debo,
McCaffrey.
faster than McCaffrey. The only one faster on his team than him was who was it? The Crowder, I think. Not Cowan on his team. And so everyone's just like, yeah, that's a heck of a sleeper build. And I'm like, I don't think he's as athletic as Purdy, but he's definitely not unathletic.
He's not
Same way like
unathletic.
Caleb Williams too, the way he's thick and doesn't seem like it, but the things they can pull off, I'd put him in the same similar type of category. So not as high as Caleb Williams, but like archetype.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a bad archetype. So, all right. So going off the clock. Jets. Do you think the Jets? What do you think the Jets do? What do you think the Jets do? I mean, they are heavily looking at what's his name? I've got it over
Yeah,
here.
they looked at
Uh,
Arvell Reese
Bailey.
and Bailey,
And Bailey.
those two.
Yeah,
But they canceled
they've
their
also
30 visit on
canceled on
Bailey.
Bailey. Yeah, they also canceled on
Yeah.
Bailey. Well, they said, they saw him at the draft. They went to his pro day. They've had enough time with him that they needed to spend time with one of their other 20, people. So,
hmm
excuse, right? Could be an excuse. Don't look anything into this, and then they draft someone else anyway. So,
I
It's
just,
such a tough call.
if they draft Reese, I think that they should go Bailey because
Mhm.
it's straightforward, right? Put him at edge, coach him up, you're good to go. With
Yeah.
Reese, they're gonna need to figure out how to play him, what to do him, where to move him, you know. And you've got so many other missing pieces on that team. Like right now, to have like a high end set it and forget it dude could be much more valuable than having that finishing chess piece to make your defense ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
So like I don't know. But if they basically build that entire defense around Arvell Reese, then then they could be pretty awesome because he's so
He's
flexible.
got a
He's
high
capable of
ceiling.
the entire offense. Yeah, he's got a high ceiling. All of that edge rusher stuff and talking about being an edge rusher and how well he did this year. What teams are in meetings were saying that they were asking him what his plan was on this pass rush and how he came to the moves and stuff like that. And he's just like, honestly, I don't know what you guys are really talking about as far as the pass rush goes. I have a general idea, but I just kind of go off of instinct and attack, and then try to get around. And they're like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
You have no idea what you're doing and you're this successful.
Your instincts, that's something. So
And so, yeah. And so it's like, well, are they going to put him at edge or is it going to be linebacker or is it going to be some just hybrid side? But he's
Mhm.
still going to be a defensive player that is high touch for the coaching staff because you're going to want to teach him edge attack actual stuff because that can improve him so much more. And B, you need to create a plan because he's good enough to wreck a game as long as you have a plan.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
do we trust the Jets to do that? Is the question.
right. Because they said him and Sonny Styles on the same team. They're watching all kinds of Sonny Styles tape because of his combine, and people kept going, "Wait, that's a different number. Oh, that's Arvell Reese." And so they said when you watch the tape, Reese has better instincts, and he's just a little more disruptive. But Sonny Styles is one of the smartest football players in this draft, and he can do better coverage.
He
So
is someone
they said
I
really
really like.
between the two of them, but they're both really high impact players. It's just there's there's work to be put in on Reese, and his ceiling could be higher than Styles. It could be higher than
That
any person on this draft. But
yeah.
it's the right coaching staff is going to need to get him there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sony Styles has a way higher ceiling at middle linebacker, and Arvell Reese has a ridiculously high ceiling at edge rusher. But they
Mm.
already know that he's also a really good inside linebacker.
Yeah, he is.
But the potential of Sony Styles as an inside linebacker is actually higher than Arvell Reese. But Arvell Reese's edge potential, he was whooping ass and he had no idea what he's doing for technique or anything like that. So that making people look silly, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so then you turn him into a technician and unleash him on the edge, and he could be the best edge defender in the league. That's his ceiling is Hall of Fame level. And so both of their ceilings are outrageous for the positions that they're being talked about coming in this draft.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
yeah. And then with Bailey, he fits uh he fits the coach's scheme,
Hmm.
and he'll be an impact player immediately.
Hmm.
But he, no one knows if the coach is going to be there next year. If this is his last year or if he's still going to be around, do you really want to fill in for his specific scheme when you're building a team for the future? And so that's
Mhm.
where Bailey,
And
any team that picks him up, he's going to do well. But
Yeah.
just the
Well,
ceiling when you're picking in the top five, um, he's more like a 6, 7, 8 type range normally in this kind of draft. And because of the depth in this draft, that's why he could go second.
they compare him to Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
That's David Bailey's comparable. So you know So they're like, it just makes a lot of sense because you just plug and play player and then go address all of the other problems that you have, rather than concentrating on your star and making them better and then forgoing to coach everybody else up kind of deal. So like,
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. All right, so who we going? Arvel Reese or David Bailey? Now that we've given the argument to John, who would you take?
It's the Jets. I mean, I see them. I don't. I see them going to Arville Reese. I don't see them making the David Bailey. Yeah.
I think historically, Jets pick guys with really high ceilings, and then when they make it to other teams, we start seeing that.
Yep, that is true. They're looking great on that second contract.
Yeah. All
That's
I know is
right.
I'm avoiding whoever they
Yep.
draft, and that's just the
Yep.
way it goes. Yeah.
I think that's I think that's fine. Okay, so we have Reese off the board at number 2. Number 3, Cardinals on the clock. Cardinals have
Oh
some
my
need.
gosh. I've heard
Cardinals
so
are.
much smoke on this.
I've heard a lot of things. Yeah.
Go, John. What have you heard?
Ah,
Well, I've heard I've heard them wanting to possibly trade out of this spot.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
I've heard them wanting to trade out of the spot. I mean, can you pick somebody that can move into this spot that's not terribly far? I have
Uh,
someone. I have someone.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear someone else first. I don't
Oh,
want to. Yeah.
I'm hearing the rumors that it's heavily the Chiefs, but also conversations with Dallas.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
The
Yep.
two
Yep.
that hold the
Dallas is the.
two first rounds. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
both wanting to move up, and I totally see both wanting to move up and take Love.
mm-mm.
I that's what I've heard is whoever's moving up, it will be for Jeremiah Love. Because
Mhm.
uh, the Giants also really like Love, and they're going to want to go ahead of the Giants. And so 3 might be the spot to do it. And I heard that if the Cardinals stick and pick, they're going to go receiver.
Mm.
Oh, they don't. Yeah.
And
Yeah, and
they're going to get the Marvin Harrison prototype is also in this draft, but he's hurt a lot.
mhm.
So they're talking about what's his name? Um,
Tyson or Lemon
You took Tyson.
Jordan Tyson.
or yeah,
So
out of
I hear
Michigan.
that the teams in the top 10 are actually way higher on Tyson, and he
Mm-hmm.
could be the first wide receiver off the board ahead of Tate, and that the Cardinals are definitely looking at him.
Mm.
They're also saying that about the Chiefs, that they're
But
super
their
high on Tyson.
their first option would be trading out, though.
Yeah, but that just drops Jeremiah Love right into the hands of the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Right into the hands of the Titans.
Who I think would still be excited to draft
Hmm.
him.
I mean, yeah, but I think they need the offensive line first, in my opinion, right? So
They do.
I mean,
They do. It,
I think that's a bigger important than.
it depends. It depends. You're not going to get a player like him next year, and you're hoping that you'll either know that your quarterback is your guy, or you're going to be drafting high next year and picking up
No,
a
they're gonna be going after another quarterback next year,
right.
and it's a high pick next year, I think. So
So I think getting that running back, even though you're not ready, just like the Raiders, right? I think the Raiders still made a great move with Genty. It may be a shitty rookie year,
yeah,
but
but
that
here's
talent is still in your building.
yes, but all right. So I just see years ticking off of a running back that's only got it. They've got a time clock, right? They've got a time clock.
He still
hmm
is young coming in. you are
True.
right. He's young coming in, and the
Okay,
running back of
I've
his
got a
skill
young
set
game.
really helps for rookie quarterbacks.
I had a running back of that skill set that had my knee problems. His name was Todd Gurley. He would still be in the league today, except for that talent. You know what I mean? So
That star
it can
shines so
happen.
bright.
It can happen to anybody. Yeah. Oh, hey, for both of you. For both of you. So, uh,
Yeah.
it can happen to anybody. So you, especially on a team that may not be ready for him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that.
I just think that's it may
So what
be
do you?
it's a
What?
bad move for Love. The better moves are definitely the two teams that want to trade for him. Cowboys would be the best fit because he's going to be the best fantasy fit for him. But with the Chiefs, he'll win Super Bowls. He's going to be a 1-2 punch with Walker there, right? So but
Absolutely.
he's going to be a 1-2 punch. But that's kind of what they like. But I mean,
Oh,
they're
all of
they're,
these.
they're realizing they made the mistake years back with CEH and should have Jonathan Taylored it, and now they want that. Hey, that Love's there. Let's get that guy. We made that mistake. Let's get that guy.
Well,
What if?
think about it
How do you
this way
think
too.
those
Is
Kenneth Walker owners that are doing laps and super stoked about that signing just going to get torpedoed during this draft? Because he's going to be worth less here than he would in Seattle at that point. But also, what if the Chiefs are coming up for a receiver? What if they're coming up for Tyson instead? Because they did just
they
sign
also like him.
and they can get
Oh,
a
well,
receiver under a rookie contract at a fraction of the price of what you would be paying a receiver to in the league.
so there's also this. If they did stick with Jeremiah Love, Kelsey's getting older. Rashi Rice has all those problems, and those are all catches that happen middle of the field, right off the line. Running backs with the talent of Kenneth Walker and Jeremiah Love could fill in. And financially, it's a better move than paying a wide receiver. I know that it's a top 10 pick,
So
and it is what it is as far as being a rookie contract. But if he's great and you have to sign him to a second contract, you'd much rather be paying a running back who's working that middle of
it's
the field
pretty
there.
sick.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if
$20
Andy
million,
Reid's plan,
a $20 million running back rather than a $40 million receiver. You know,
I mean,
It's not a
you'd
bad
get
idea.
both running
I
backs
like
for
that.
24,
Yeah,
but both running backs would be under 30 million for both of them, you know? And the way the cap keeps going up, WR2s are going to be worth 30 million. They're already getting that.
they
So,
already are getting 30
yeah.
million. You know,
yeah, so
like
I'm just
that's what
thinking
I'm saying. They might
with
feel like
Andy
we should
Reid,
draft a wide receiver. hmm But I think that the financial aspect more than the talent is going to be starting to shape this first round also because of the way that the cap has gone out of control with certain things like wide receiver. So like
yeah,
if you draft a wide receiver in the first round, that is and you think that and that's why like more teams that already have receivers are going to be drafting receivers because they still need a wide receiver too, and it's cheaper to pay the rookie contract than it is to sign an experienced wide receiver two. So then that wide receiver two is going to have to go out and
that's
find a
also
better
true.
job somewhere else, right? And then you've got
Hmm.
5 years of that rookie contract as a wide receiver. So even if it takes a while for them to get going, you still get 2 years of fantastic production on the cheap in comparison. And even if they turn into a wide receiver one for your team, then you've got a succession plan to let the guys go so that you're not paying so much in that position. The
That's why
$50
running
million
backs are less
for the
likely in
wide
the
receiver
top
one.
right. It's wide receivers. It's wide receivers, offensive linemen,
Quarterback.
defensive edges, quarterbacks. Yeah, yep.
Hmm.
It's the
So
big. decisions. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's smart. So I mean, like, yeah, if so, dang it. So what do we got? So what do we got at 3? We had, so does Cardinals keep the pick? Do they trade the pick out? I think they trade the pick out, but they could keep it. And then, so do we have them keeping it and going wide receiver, or we trade them out? Are we going with a trade?
So
No
what?
trade. What do we do?
I'm gonna put one more team's hat in there. Uh, the Rams coming up for Love
Ooh.
to push for Stafford's retirement, another Super Bowl. They're already showing they're going all in.
Oh, they would have to. They would have to sell the farm for next
Because
year.
don't
Is the
they?
problem?
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't they? They don't have a. They don't have a pick this year. That's what I thought, right? They used it. No.
No, they
They
actually did
had
get a
2.
second first round
Now
pick
they have
from
1,
Atlanta.
They have 2. So they have. Okay.
and it is pick number 13.
Hmm.
So they're not really driving that far. They
Yeah.
traded the pick that was in the 20s to Kansas City for that 29.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
So
let's say
that's what I was hearing.
Cardinals.
So
Ugh.
3 drop. Yeah. See, I think if you're dropping at 3, I mean, 9's a better spot, but it depends on what you're going for. You might be able to get it at 12. I don't see him taking it at 13. So I don't see Rams getting it unless they pay higher offer than what the other guys are offering.
Oh yeah.
Also because
They've
it's
got.
within division.
Yeah.
It's within division, so
They're never
uh,
selling it to the Rams. They're gonna sell it
They're
to
always
the
selling
Cowboys.
to the division.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see it going
It's
Cowboys.
going to the Chiefs because the Chiefs are in the AFC. That's what's happening. The Chiefs are trading up to number 3. And
They
they're going
just
to
know
be
that'll be
because they're in the AFC and they know
ball.
the likelihood of them having to face Jeremiah Love is that much less.
Yeah. Yeah.
there,
Well,
there we
just
go.
because Cardinals don't.
And Gardner Minshew will be booting them out that way. Or sorry, who's going to be who's starting for the Chiefs? Wentz, in
No,
case
Wentz is
Mahomes
with.
isn't their first game.
Is it Minshew?
Who got signed to the Chiefs as the backup quarterback?
Was I think
No,
No,
Minshew
no.
it's not Wentz.
and
Wentz
Brissett
is in the.
are in the Arizona.
That's right, Arizona.
I think it is Wentz.
So we're going Jeremiah Love at pick 3. Wentz
I'm
is in
okay.
Minnesota.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, Wentz
Jeremiah
is in
Love at
Minnesota.
pick 3 to the Kansas City Chiefs, who trade up.
Sorry. And the Titans are crying.
They have Justin Fields.
Oh, that's right. Justin Fields is there.
We have Justin Fields. Fields, Jake Hayner, Justin Fields,
And Andy Reid said
Chris.
he might have some packages to make sure that even if Patrick Mahomes does start, that Fields gives him some rest and he's out there throwing the football sometimes too for maybe the first quarter of the season.
So we have 3 trading to 9.
You're
9.
super quiet, John.
Sorry, we have 3 trading to 9, right? So Chiefs trade
Mm-hmm.
up. Chiefs take Love. Okay, so then 4. Titans are
Fantasy
pissed
World goes
off.
wild.
Titans either. Yeah, it's fantasy world goes what we always do when trades happen, right? So, do
Yeah.
they swing into Francis Moyagu? I'm gonna
Melanoa.
butcher this name.
All right. Yeah.
Maui.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Maui
I've
Noah,
heard them
I
say
think
that.
is.
Yeah. Maui Goa. Maui
See, that's
Noa.
Maui
Yeah.
Noah. Yeah, that's,
I think that they go Sunny Styles
you. Oh, don't.
at 4.
See, I know he's gotten so much hype that he's not going to drop to us to the Bucks. I love it.
Oh,
So
no way. There's no chance.
I know. I loved the first mock that came out that had him coming to us. And I'm like, yes, leave it that. Leave it
No
that.
way.
I know.
Yeah.
Look, shut up. So
I think that
he's way too good.
what's
Way
his
too.
name?
There's a chance we get Ruben Bain.
I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might drop.
He might drop.
But we might not sign him because of all those other things too. So we
I
don't pick
yeah.
him.
Well,
Um,
I don't know. He
the other
dropped out
things were
more.
all
They might.
yeah. I don't know. I don't see him as They said he's actually a really good team player and everything. It's just the accident happened back in 2024, and
Yeah.
they said some dirty team went out there leaking the stuff that was already out there.
yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, the guy's got a motor on him, man.
So they take
Sala.
Sonny Styles. All right, at 4.
Yeah, Sala
Yeah.
gets his Fred Warner.
Hate the Titans. Hate the Titans.
Exactly.
That's a solid pick. Okay, so Giants. I think they come in swinging with the first wide receiver here.
You think so?
I do. I think they that or a cornerback because they're not going to see Sonny Styles. He went before him. They could swing into the cornerbacks, but
Or safety.
I think if they took the top overall safety here,
Down.
that would really improve their defense because of the kind of dynamic player he is. But I don't know that you know what? Joe Shane, he bucks the he may not go for the positional value thing. And he might just take the best player he thinks is available. And that could be Downs. But
that's
you
Or is
yeah,
it a
but
Harbaugh pick and it's Francis Marinoga? Goes
here's
offensive line.
here's the other thing. They put Thibodeau out there on the trade market also.
They did.
So
They're trying to get him there.
what if they go Bailey here?
That's a
They
good
could
pick.
go Bailey.
They
Because
could get
they
something.
just got rid of Lawrence. They're looking to get rid of Thibodeau.
Yeah.
But they've invested a lot, so they want it to work. And edge rushers are hard to come by.
Probably get like a second for him. They probably get like a second for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a low first.
So I hear they're really going for what's his name at wide receiver, but I wouldn't put it past Harbaugh picking Bailey instead.
Tate.
No,
Good with
not
Bailey.
Tate, the other one.
Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson, Jordan Tyson. I keep forgetting his name.
I'm good with Bailey.
Okay.
Giants select Bailey, number 5.
Giants select Bailey. I know a happy Giants fan. It's one of the names he wanted. Okay. Browns on the clock. Who do they bring into their organization and ruin another future? What do they do?
Line. They go O line. They're
Oh,
gonna set the table for quarterback next year.
So they go Maui Goa is what you're
Yep.
saying. They go,
yeah,
"Hey, you
they
fell. Look
should.
at us."
Because Caleb Downs would do really well there, and they need help in their secondary. But you got to keep. I just look at who they have at QB, and you gotta beef that O line. You have to. If they don't pick O
Okay.
line here, their fans should get in line and slap them one after the other.
For a very long time already.
I mean,
So
they could take receiver because it's flashy, but they should go O line, and it should be
Yeah.
Maui Goa.
hmm Okay. Marigoa at 6. 7. Commanders on the clock.
Downs
Oh,
all day.
they're pissed. Love is gone. But yes,
They're pissed. Love is gone.
Yeah.
But Dan Quinn is super stoked to get Caleb Downs on his defense.
Okay. I
Oh
can see
my
that.
gosh.
I can see that being in Downs' spot right there. So
that's right.
I put all right. Downs at 7. Saints. I think this is where okay. This is another team I have penciled in going at wide receiver. I think it ruins the draft stock of blanking on his name.
Olave.
Tate.
Olave. Thank you.
Olave. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Olave. Thank you, Mario. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think it lowers the draft stock of Olave. I think they go after a guy that's gonna bump him down the chart. So,
I don't
or
know.
at least take away some touches, take away a lot of touches from him.
So do they go Tate here, or did we give Tyson? Oh, so Jordan Tyson's still out there. Tate or
No
Sadiq?
receiver has been drafted to this point.
No receiver has been touched yet. We've talked about it, but we haven't handed a single one away. So,
What? Let's see. I think the most complimentary receiver to who they have now would be Lemon.
See, and
Because he can play slot wide receiver 2, and Olave is an alpha 1 perimeter guy. You know, he's not as big as Tyson, but that's his skill set. So I think if they do draft receiver, the smart thing for them to do is to draft a different kind of receiver and have
yes,
Olave and Lemon attacking the different levels and working to their strengths inside that offense. And that would be a freaking potent wide receiver room.
yeah. I think I like the lemon pick because I know this is everyone else. This is very deep in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
This is very slot
yeah,
and rich.
I think
They
that
need
he's in the
speed, which
same.
isn't Lemon, but
Yeah.
I think well Tate isn't either. He's at 4.5 also, which is extremely suitable to the NFL.
these
Um,
receivers just aren't
Yeah.
burners, you know.
No.
but
Not the top
know
guys.
that I know that a lot of the top guys are really high on Jordan Tyson, and
Yeah.
so that Olave's not big, and so
Olave is not big.
No,
so
he's not.
that would be the reason I would go Tyson over Lemon, but uh, if it, seeing Olave miss so much time with his concussions, you might go with a guy who has a clear medical bill of health and sure hands. I'm good with Lemon here. Uh, yeah.
It's tough. I mean, you have three receivers here at the top. They're all
So
very close. They're all decent.
the other thing
If it,
is defense. They just let Cam go, and their defense is still really old, except for some of their secondary. Um, you got some really nice defensive pieces that can go
but
here, and
also
they
we
could.
talked. This is more deeper of a cornerback. It is more deeper in the
Yeah.
and draft compared to wide receivers,
Yeah.
where it's a big drop off after the top
Yeah.
3. So I think if they're this close, they jump at another top 3 guy wide receiver from this draft class. Somebody that has potential to be in the top guy in the draft class.
Okay.
And then they hope for a corner in the second round. I agree.
And hope for a corner in the second. I think that's their better chance. Yeah.
Yeah, because they could get Delane here, the number one corner in the draft.
They could get Mansour Delane here. They
It's
could.
so they said that
But they could
people
also
are
get the number 1
panicked
receiver in the
and could
draft.
trade up after McCoy was coming back with his medicals. So I know
Okay.
that
So
they're both highly thought of.
do we have a name for number 8 here?
I'm
You
going
know what? It's
lemon.
more fun for fantasy. Let's do lemon.
No, don't think fun. Well, okay. I mean, Daniel said lemon. I said lemon. Okay, we'll go lemon. Okay. So lemon off the clock. Let's go. Cardinals back on the
Cardinals.
clock at number 9. Yeah, Cardinals back on at number 9.
Cardinals draft Mansour Delane
So
at
we
9.
had. You think they?
Cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
I
a
mean, that's huge,
sick
but they
cornerback
have.
duo with the rookie that they have from last year. That was super good.
It's good,
I
but they
forget
have
his name.
bigger holes. They do have much bigger holes.
I know, but they're talking about Jordan Tyson at number 3, and he's still there. They
Yeah, I
could,
guess so. I would
they
just
could
like to see them
they could
two full
totally
shutdown
cardinal
corners.
and pick him again there anyway. Going,
Dude.
how is he still available? But
Having
if
two full shutdown corners on rookie on a rookie deal though would be
facing Matthew Stafford,
that could do a lot, especially
That
in that
would be good.
division.
in
Yeah,
that
trying to hold
division,
all those quarterbacks. Okay, all right. So we're gonna hand out
Curveball.
No, I love that pick because
it's a curveball. I definitely say it's a curveball. So we need
yeah,
curveballs. Hey, we usually pencil these things down, and we're kind of like off on a couple of them, right? So
Yeah. Was it Michael Jordan that they have from last year as their cornerback?
Johnson, who he had an injury, and when he came back, he was a top cornerback. He was a top cornerback in the league. Will Johnson.
You got
And
two shutdown corners. Oh, that could do so much for your defense.
Especially with Budda Baker floating with, the last of his great years, but for the next 2 years, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Okay. All right. So
And the Giants at 10.
Giants at 10.
Giants finishing out at 10. We'll finish out Giants at 10. So what was their first pick? We went we didn't no, we didn't go, we went they weren't the linebacker, they were the corner? They were a corner. No, they were a defensive end. They were
Bailey.
Bailey.
Okay, sorry. I didn't write this down. I apologize. I'm terrible.
No problem. Yeah, so they were Bailey.
They were Bailey, so they went defense. So swing back with the fact that Tyson's still sitting here, and they go Tyson.
Yes.
10.
So then you have Neighbors and Tyson out there. That would be, and after the Eagles they're getting rid of AJ Brown. They will be the new best pairing in the East there. Yeah. Although CD and Pickens aren't bad either, but
no. That's a pretty good top 10 rounded out there. I like that. I do like that. I think we did pretty good with the one curveball in there and even one trade. So.
And I would love to see Vega fall to the Bucks.
Oh, I don't know. I have no hopes and dreams at this point. I don't know.
I agree.
Vega. Oh.
Vega Iowani guard. Yes, please at 15. Yes, please.
And I want to see the Chargers take up Proctor. I think Proctor O-line.
Yep.
He's super talented, but he's only been playing O-line for 2 years. And I think it's that. And not only that.
No, that's not Proctor. That's Ian Archer.
Okay.
Proctor's the Alabama kid.
Alabama.
Proctor, though, he's a gimmick guy. So
look at him. He's 6'6". He's 6'6.5".
But they have him pitching and catching passes though too. The same way the Lions used what's his name last year. He's incredibly athletic. So I would like to see him used like Sewell for the Chargers and Justin
Sorry.
Herbert out there.
Okay.
John, do you know at the combine at 352 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what his vertical was?
No, I do not. I don't have any.
32 inches.
Holy.
Yeah.
He shattered the record for a player over 350 pounds. Shattered it.
Holy.
So I would love to see him at the Chargers and moved into guard. And with
Like he's
Slater and Alt there, oh man, because
There's one knock on him is that he played his first year at 350. He
Mm-hmm.
played his second year at 390,
Ooh.
and
yeah,
he
they're worried
was
about his weight.
bad.
Egg rolls.
And then his next year, he played back at 350, and they were like, "This guy's awesome."
He's hanging out with Eddie Lacy one year is what it was.
So,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hanging out
so that's the worry.
Egg
You have
rolls,
him on a
egg rolls.
nutrition plan.
Egg roll.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking LA also, because Harbaugh won't let
Mario.
him get to that.
Yeah.
I was talking to your brother the other day. I was going through paperwork. I was clearing out a box. I found a pad of mine from 2014, and it's all my names I'm writing down. And then you flip over, 2 tags. It's Eddie Lacy, and I'm like, oh, it's
Oh,
that year.
it's like stepping in front of a claymore.
Yeah, John's.
Daniel's laughing. It's like,
Yeah. You're like in
So much
Inception.
promise.
No.
yeah. Hey, you know what? I making moves just like you guys did, right? I mean, you got to
Yeah.
make moves. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but you got to make moves. You never know. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just hey, nothing like getting a guy that goes to Cleveland and loses the will to live, and then another guy that goes to the Packers and just finds the will to live apparently in Chinese food. So, yeah, I dig it.
What do you guys think of Nussmeier and the bone spur on his spine? Or what was it on his spine? It was
News to me.
Yeah, so they said that he dropped off last year, and they found, oh, that's what it was. It was a cyst. So the cyst was on his spine all year last year, and they found it at the combine. And so he's getting a procedure to get it removed, and he should get all his mobility back from 2 years ago when everyone thought he was going to be the first pick of this draft coming out. So, what do you guys think of that news coming out?
That's interesting.
Does that boost Nussmeier for you at all?
It's skeptical.
Yeah, I'm
skeptical. You know, 9th pick of our rookie draft, maybe I'll consider it.
I'm still sitting here with my popcorn. 9th round. I'm like, I 9th pick. I'm not here. I'm not here for a few. I show up in the 3rd round. So
no, not 9th overall. I mean, like by 9th pick in the entire draft.
No, I understood
9th
that.
round, I'm gonna maybe consider whether or not to take a flyer on
him. Do you think his dad will convince enough people to draft him to the Saints behind Chuck?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they get him on the cheap, maybe.
3rd round.
Yeah. 3rd day pick. Yeah.
3rd round?
Oh, you think
3rd round? End of day 2?
5th round.
I'm more day 3.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I lean day 3.
I think these quarterbacks are going to go way late. I think it's going to be like Ty Simpson in the 2nd, maybe late 1st, and then nobody until
for a little while.
5th round.
That's interesting.
I don't think there's going to be any in the 3rd and any in the 4th. I think maybe one in the 4th, and maybe that's Nussmeier. But I think all the quarterbacks are going to go 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah, that 3rd round is just going to be about big boys and back end.
Yeah.
It's the big
And
boys
it,
back end.
receiver flyers. I think there's going to be a lot of there's a shit ton of
Slot
receivers
in.
in this
Yeah,
class.
it's all slot.
And so I
Mhm.
think like the second the first round might be because of the financial decision, but then the flyers of the potential of some of these receivers are going to go, and I think it's going to be heavy tight end and heavy receiver, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, I was sharing why I said it was a meh draft earlier. I'm thinking as in our Dynasty Disney League
hmm
team needs. It doesn't fit my team needs. You know?
It's
Oh
a good
yeah.
thing you don't have 2 first-round draft picks then, huh?
I need a linebacker. I need a linebacker to replace the retirement of Levante David, but I'm not high enough to grab somebody I really like unless I make a move. So, uh,
Yeah. I don't think I moved up high enough to get the one shattering need I need most on my team, which is quarterback. But for the one that
you
probably won't even start this year, but
I in the second you moved into the second.
I moved into the second.
You
Yeah.
moved in the second. I believe one good drop. I don't think they're gonna be rampant just because it's a 2 quarterback league. I mean I don't think people will jump on them in this year. You
It
may get one
depends.
right away in the first round, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if Ty Simpson, if Arizona trades back into the first round and picks up Ty Simpson, then he's worthy of a mid first rounder, just because
Flyer,
you know
yeah,
he's going to start, right? You
yeah,
know he's going to give you
Especially
production
if
this year, and you're at least going to see it.
yeah, yeah.
Jacoby Brissett's contract talks right now
You'll get time on the field. Okay, if
could
if
possibly
that
go that
happens.
way.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
But if he falls into like the third, then yeah, no, he's his then he'll be a second round pick solidly. But
But
if he
if Arizona trades in and it looks promising for him, I could see someone in our group picking him up with 110 or something like that.
yeah,
Maybe, maybe.
Because there's not a lot of offensive, uh, like the receivers, a lot of them look like they might be WR2s at best or whatever. And there's only one real running back. So the offense is going to be a little thin. So
Yeah.
I think quarterback could creep in where we could get 2 in the first round
It's
of our
possible.
rookie
Like you
draft.
said, if Arizona moves up, definitely. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that happen.
And for
I can
contract
see.
reasons, you'd want to for the 5th-year option as a team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think the top tier offense are gonna be hammered in the first round, and then the second round is going to be the Wild West. I have no idea
Yeah.
what's going to happen in the second
hmm
round, but like, top 4 receivers, top quarterback, top running back,
And
top
Sonny
tight end.
Styles.
Wow, no defense first
Those
round.
those are all going to go first round.
Maybe.
No
Just
defense
because
first round.
there's not much in offense. So
Yeah,
it
that's what
could,
I feel. Is
No,
but then
I,
you get one
I,
or two.
I,
I think
I,
that
I
like
think it depends on
8
where
of the
Sadiq
10 in the first
and
round on the
Stowers go.
offense. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we're also tight end half premium, right? So Stowers
yeah,
and Sadiq, like if one of them goes to Kansas City instead, boom, they're
mhm,
going to be first round. Or
yeah,
depending on where they go, it could that could be both of those tight ends go.
yeah. Okay.
So it just depends.
Coming from the tight end guy, I like that. No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I know. I also, hey, and Mike Washington could go super high because some GM falls in love with his measurables also, and that could post him up just because running back is always a thin position. Um, yeah,
There was
It's
a
gonna be
possibility you see a second, one drafted in the second. I think.
Pierce
yeah, it would,
depending on when Pierce gets drafted too, he could end up being in the first round also.
One at the bottom, but you think one at the back end of the first?
Yeah, I
Coming
think at like
back into the
110,
first.
107, something like that.
Wow, that high?
Yeah,
Possibly.
depending on where they drafted.
Yeah.
There are some teams who
If
have
he goes to
some
Seattle,
not so great. Yeah, it's whoever's going to Seattle
Mm.
and
so
Love
yeah,
are both going in the
if
first round.
if Seattle drafts a running back
You
Even in
jump
the
on.
second
at
round.
32
Yeah.
or at all,
Yeah.
they're worth a flyer in the first round
Okay.
because you've got to
Charbonnet's
recover.
not going to be there for the first couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's competition. Yeah,
yeah,
there's nothing there.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
But it's going
Makes
to
sense.
be great to see how it works out in the real draft, which ends up dictating our fantasy draft
Mhm.
in 5 days.
In 5
Mhm.
days. Yeah, exactly. Which we have the NFL draft here in giving a refresh, give a exact 1 day, 18 hours, and 17 minutes. All right. So thanks for joining us. There's our 1 through 10 plus a lot of just where we think things may happen. Hopes and dreams with the Bucks.
Yeah. There's
Without 'em.
so many tantalizing
Guard
options.
Olavega
I hope it's
Iona.
good.
That's what I want.
I hope
And
it's good. That's all I
yeah,
hope. I hope it's just a good pick. That's what I want.
There are
I
like
don't have
5 dudes I'd be super happy about.
yeah.
Second round, I'm nervous.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
saw a
we'll
mock that I got giddy about, and I really hope it shakes out that way.
see.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh please, oh please, oh please, yes, oh please, oh please. That
Vega,
is
Rodriguez,
that
please. Vega,
is
then Rodriguez.
that is my ideal draft for the Buccaneers. Absolutely, Vega then Rodriguez.
Hopes and dreams. There it is. So, right into the show. If you want anything on the show, ffwc23@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate you at the hour and 20 mark. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just keep studying. Just keep
Yes,
studying.
that's right. Just keep studying.
In a realm where legends rise and dreams collide, a council gathers with power as their guide. Jonathan the strategist,
It's raining.
wisdom's might. Mario and Daniel warriors ready to ignite. Thunder roars, lightning cracks the sky. Electric strings sing a battle cry. In this arena of fantasy and lore, the gods of war lead the charge once more.